Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host Brian Parks. Today, I'm sharing my DIY wrist pin cushion tutorial. And whether you're brand new to sewing or you've been at it for years, this is one of those projects that's both fun and incredibly useful. Have you ever been in the middle of sewing, juggling fabric and pins and thought, there has to be an easier way to keep my pins close by? That's exactly what this project solves. With just a little fabric, some stuffing, and a strap that fits your wrist perfectly, you'll have a custom sewing tool that makes your project smoother and more enjoyable. I'll walk you step by step through making the strap, the cushion, and then attaching them together. By the end, you'll not only have a pin cushion that you'll reach for every time you sit at your machine, but also a project you can personalize to match your sewing style. So, grab some scraps and let's get sewing. Before we get started, if you enjoy this content, be sure to give us a like below, as it really does help out the channel. Do it now please, and if you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, be sure to share us with your friends. It helps us grow and lets me bring you even more tutorials. You don't need much for this project. For the strap, you'll need 2 fabric strips that measure 2 inches by 9 inches. Along with a small piece of Pellon foam interfacing to give it some body. You'll also need 2 small pieces of Velcro for the closure. For the cushion itself, grab 2 rectangles of cotton fabric that measure 4 inches by 4.5 inches, plus a small scrap of template plastic to serve as a protective base. A bit of fiber fill will give your cushion its shape, and of course, you'll want your basic sewing tools, scissors, pins, thread, and a hand sewing needle. The best part? This is a scrap-friendly project, so if you've been saving bits and pieces of fabric, this is the perfect time to use them. Let's start with the strap. First, take your fabric strips and place a piece of Velcro at each end. Go ahead and sew them down securely. Next, fuse your Pellon interfacing to the wrong side of one strip. I'm using Pellon Flex Foam 2-sided fusible stabilizer. The stabilizer is what gives the strap some structure and makes it more comfortable to wear. Now, place your strips right sides together and stitch all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, leaving a small gap for turning. Before we flip it right side out, remember to trim the bulk from the corners. That'll give you a cleaner finish. Use a chopstick or a turning tool to turn your strap right side out. This part is always a little fiddly. Do you have a favorite tool for turning fabric? Let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for new tricks. Once it's turned, give the strap a good press. Then, top stitch the opening closed. I like to go a step further and top stitch all the way around to help keep everything in perfect shape and add that nice finished look. Now for the cushion itself. Take your two 4 by 4.5 inch rectangles and place them right sides together. Stitch all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, leaving one side open. I like to sew just a little bit on either side of the opening. It helps the fabric naturally fold under when we close it later, and keeps the cushion nice and square. Turn the cushion right side out. Then, slide in your piece of template plastic. This is such an important step. It keeps pins from poking through the bottom of the cushion and jabbing your wrist. No one wants that surprise while they're sewing. Once the plastic is in place, stuff the cushion firmly with fiber fill until it's plump. Don't be afraid to really pack it in. A firm cushion holds pins better. To finish, close the opening with a slip stitch by hand. This is a great chance to practice your hand sewing, and if you've never tried a slip stitch before, I actually have a separate tutorial that walks you through it. I'll link it up here and down in the description below so you can check it out. We're down to the home stretch now. Center the cushion on your finished strap and pin it in place. Now, using a strong hand sewing needle and thread, stitch the cushion securely to the strap. I like to sew around the edges so it stays firmly in place even with heavy use. Here's a quick tip. Use a double thread or a quilting thread for this step. It adds extra strength so your cushion doesn't come loose over time. And that's it. Your DIY wrist pin cushion is complete. Just wrap it around your wrist, secure the Velcro, and you've got a comfy, practical sewing tool that you'll reach for again and again. And that wraps up my DIY wrist pin cushion tutorial. This is such an easy sewing project for beginners, and it's one of those tools you'll end up using every single time you sew. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Parks Crafty Creations and ring that notification bell so you'll never miss an upcoming video. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments what fabric you'd use for your own wrist pin cushion. And when you finish yours, tag me on Instagram at Parks Crafty Creations so I can see how great yours turned out. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations. Happy sewing, and I'll see you next time.